I still remember the sound of my sister's laugh that day. It wasn't the warm kind of laughter we used to share as kids. This one was sharp, loud, and cruel. It cut deeper than any scar on my body ever could. My name is Emily, and for the longest time I tried to hide who I really was. I have scars, not small, delicate ones. Large, uneven burn scars that cover my right shoulder, part of my back, and run down my arm. I usually kept them covered even in summer. But that day, my family insisted on a beach trip to celebrate my younger sister Sophia's engagement. She wanted everyone in swimsuits, smiling for pictures. No excuses. I felt nervous the entire drive there. When I finally took off my cover-up, I saw the familiar looks, the quick glances, the awkward silence. But Sophia? She didn't even try to hide her disgust. "Oh my God, Emily," she said loud enough for the entire group of friends and family around us to hear. "Those scars still look so ugly. Have you tried laser treatment or something? You're ruining the photos." The words hit me like ice water. My cheeks burned with shame. I forced a smile, wrapped my arms around myself, and sat in the sand while everyone else laughed and played in the waves. I felt small, broken, like all the years of silent pain I carried meant nothing. What Sophia didn't know, what no one in my family truly understood, was how I got those scars. They thought it was just a terrible accident from years ago. I never told them the full truth. I didn't want their pity. But that day, as I sat there fighting back tears, I had no idea that everything was about to change. I had always been the quiet older sister, the responsible one. Sophia was the beautiful, outgoing one everyone adored. Growing up, I loved her deeply, but over the years, her words became sharper, especially after she started gaining attention online. She had the perfect life, the influencer boyfriend, the dream job, the flawless skin. I, on the other hand, worked as a logistics coordinator at a naval base. It was a quiet job, far from the spotlight. But 4 years ago, everything changed in one terrifying night. There was a major fire on one of the fleet ships during a training exercise, an explosion in the engine room. Chaos. People screaming. I wasn't even supposed to be there, but I was doing overtime nearby. Without thinking, I ran toward the danger. I pulled 3 young sailors out of the flames. I went back in again and again until my uniform was burning, and my skin was melting from the heat. One of those sailors later told me I saved his life. But the man I saved that meant the most to the Navy was the fleet commander himself. I never told my family the real story. I was scared they'd call me reckless or dramatic, so I let them believe it was just some random accident. I suffered in silence, the nightmares, the physical pain, the months of recovery. And through it all, Sophia would sometimes make little comments. "You should wear long sleeves more often," or "It's hard to look at you sometimes." That day at the beach, her words broke something inside me. As she posed for photos with her friends, pointing at me and whispering, I felt truly betrayed. This wasn't just teasing. This was public humiliation by my own sister, the one person who should have protected me. I was fighting back tears when I noticed a group of men in casual clothes walking along the beach. They looked official somehow. One older man with strong posture stopped suddenly when he saw me. He stared. Then he started walking straight toward our group. My heart began to race. I had no idea that in the next few moments, my entire life would be exposed. The older man approached with purpose. He was wearing sunglasses, but I recognized him immediately. Admiral Robert Harlan, the man whose life I had saved that night. He stopped right in front of me and said in a deep, commanding voice, "Emily Thompson, is that really you?" The entire beach group went silent. Before I could answer, he turned to Sophia and the others. "Do you people have any idea who this woman is?" Sophia looked confused, still holding her phone up for photos. The Admiral continued, his voice growing louder and filled with respect. 4 years ago, this brave young woman ran into a burning ship with no regard for her own safety. She saved 3 of my men, and she dragged me out of the flames when I was seconds away from death. These scars, he pointed gently at my shoulder. These are proof of her courage. These are medals most people will never earn. Gasps rippled through the group. Sophia's face went pale. Admiral Harlan then called over 2 other officers who had been with him. They stood beside me like a guard of honor. One of them said, "Ma'am, we still talk about you in the fleet. You're a legend to us." Sophia stood frozen, her perfect smile completely gone. For the first time in her life, she had nothing to say. The same friends who had laughed at her jokes earlier now looked at her with disappointment. I finally found my voice. Looking straight at my sister, I said softly but firmly, "I never wanted praise, Sophia. I just didn't want to be ashamed of my scars anymore." The Admiral shook my hand warmly in front of everyone, thanked me again, and even invited me to an upcoming naval ceremony in my honor. As they walked away, the silence around our group was deafening. Sophia never apologized that day, but I saw the shame in her eyes. For the first time, she understood the weight of what she had mocked. That evening, as I watched the sunset over the ocean, I felt something I hadn't felt in years: peace. My scars were no longer something to hide. They were proof that I survived. Proof that I was stronger than I ever realized. If there's one thing I want you to take from my story, it's this: never let anyone make you feel small for the marks life has given you. Your scars may tell the painful story, but they also tell a story of courage, survival, and quiet strength. And one day, the right person will see their true beauty. Thank you for listening. If you've ever been betrayed or mocked for something you should be proud of, drop a comment below. You're not alone.